Since November, Taylor Swift had been experiencing strange symptoms, but both of them tried to ignore it. When Travis went to buy pregnancy tests, he didn't just get one, he bought 6 different tests. They'd even started thinking about baby names, but what the doctor told them would make Travis cry, terrify Taylor, and completely change their lives. The test results were negative, but the real problem was much more frightening than that. In this story, nothing was as it seemed. What I'm about to tell you in this story is much deeper and more surprising than anything you've seen in the media. In this story, nothing is as it appears. November 15th, 2025, 7:30 a.m. Travis Kelce was making his morning coffee when he heard Taylor being sick upstairs for the 3rd day in a row. He took the stairs 2 at a time, his heart pounding with a mixture of worry and something he didn't want to name yet. "Babe, you okay?" He called through the bathroom door. "I'm fine," came Taylor's muffled response. "Just give me a second." When she emerged, pale and exhausted, Travis was waiting with water and the careful expression of someone trying not to jump to conclusions. But 3 mornings of nausea, plus her recent emotional outbursts and bone-deep fatigue, had his mind racing. The night before, he'd caught himself researching early pregnancy symptoms on his phone while Taylor slept beside him. The articles had mentioned everything she was experiencing: morning sickness, wanted emotional sensitivity, exhaustion. He'd even started calculating due dates in his head, imagining a summer baby born just weeks after their wedding. "Taylor," he said gently, "when was your last period?" Her eyes widened as she realized what he was thinking. Oh my god, with all the tour planning and wedding stuff, I haven't been keeping track. They'd been engaged since August, and while they'd talked about kids eventually, they'd always imagined it happening after their June wedding. But if Taylor was pregnant now... "Do you think..." Travis started, then stopped, afraid to voice the possibility. "I don't know," Taylor whispered. "I mean, it's possible. We haven't exactly been careful lately." The emotions hit them both like a tidal wave. Travis felt his chest tighten with pure joy and terror. A baby, their baby. And the idea of Taylor carrying his child, of becoming parents together, was overwhelming in the most incredible way. "If you are pregnant," he said, turning to face her completely, "I've never been happier about anything in my life. Scared as hell, but happy." Taylor's eyes filled with tears, another hormone-related sign that made her wonder. "Really? Really? How are you feeling about it?" "Terrified," she admitted, "but also excited. Maybe the universe has different plans than we do." They decided to wait one more day to test, but by November 17th, after Taylor had an emotional breakdown watching a video of a soldier coming home to his family, they knew they needed answers. "I'll grab a test," Travis said, reaching for his keys. "Get 3 different brands," Taylor called after him. "If I'm pregnant, boy, I want to be sure." Travis returned 20 minutes later with a pharmacy bag containing 6 pregnancy tests, prenatal vitamins, ginger tea, and a baby name book he'd grabbed impulsively from the checkout display. "You bought a name book?" Taylor asked, touched by his excitement. "I started thinking about whether we'd name a boy after my dad or yours," he said sheepishly. "Got carried away." Taylor kissed him softly. "You're going to be an amazing dad someday." But all 6 tests came back negative. Travis found Taylor sitting on their bathroom floor, staring at the row of negative tests with an expression he couldn't read. "Hey," he said, settling beside her on the cold tile. "Talk to me." "I'm relieved because the timing would be insane," she said quietly. "But I'm also disappointed. But I think I was starting to get excited." "Me too," Travis admitted. "But if you're not pregnant, we need to figure out what's making you sick." Dr. Sarah Mitchell had been Taylor's physician for 3 years and was experienced with high-profile patients. When Taylor called explaining her symptoms, Dr. Mitchell fitted her in that afternoon. "So you've been experiencing nausea, fatigue, and emotional sensitivity for about a week," Dr. Mitchell said, reviewing her notes. "Pregnancy tests are negative. How's your stress level been?" Taylor and Travis exchanged glances. They both knew this answer would be ugly. "Extremely high," Taylor admitted. "I'm planning a world tour that starts in February. We're planning our wedding. I've been in the studio, plus all the normal media attention." "Sleep? Maybe 5 hours a night." "I stay up working on tour logistics, then wake up early for meetings." "Eating?" Taylor felt embarrassed as she realized how bad her habits had become. I skip meals when I'm busy. Sometimes I forget lunch entirely and then overeat at dinner. Dr. Mitchell nodded knowingly and sent them for blood work. An hour later, she returned with results and a concerned expression. "You're definitely not pregnant," she began, "but your cortisol levels are dangerously high, the kind I see with major trauma or crisis. Your blood sugar is low from irregular eating, and you're showing signs of severe exhaustion and dehydration." Travis felt the air leave his lungs. "The nausea is stress-induced gastritis. Your stomach lining is inflamed from chronic stress and irregular eating. Your body is essentially rebelling against how you've been treating it, doctor." And Mitchell leaned forward. "Taylor, you need to make immediate changes or you're heading for a serious health crisis. This level of chronic stress can cause long-term digestive issues, immune problems, cardiovascular complications, and fertility problems." The last part hit Travis like a punch to the gut. Future fertility problems because of current stress. "What do we do?" Travis asked, his voice tight. "Drastically reduce commitments for the next month, cancel non-essential meetings, delegate everything possible, and prioritize sleep and regular meals above everything else." "But my tour," Taylor started, "can be managed by your team," Dr. Mitchell interrupted firmly. "I've been your doctor for 3 years. I've never seen your levels this dangerous." "What about wedding planning?" Travis asked. "That needs to slow down too." Planning a wedding while launching a tour is exactly what created this situation. Travis watched tears fill Taylor's eyes and felt his heart break. "Hey," he said softly, turning to face her. "We'll figure this out. But if we delay everything, then we delay," Travis said firmly, taking her hands. "Your health matters more than any timeline. The tour will happen when you're ready. The wedding will happen when you're healthy. None of it matters if you're not okay." The drive home was quiet, both processing what they'd learned. "I'm sorry," Taylor said as they pulled into their driveway. "For what?" "For not taking care of myself, for letting it get this bad, for potentially messing up our plans." Travis turned to face her completely. "Look at me. You have nothing to apologize for. You've been juggling impossible responsibilities. What we learned today isn't failure. It's information we needed." That evening, they spread laptops and calendars across Taylor's dining table, making lists of everything that could be delegated, postponed, or canceled. The hardest conversation was with Taylor's management team the next day. Her longtime manager, Andrea, had been with her for over a decade and immediately understood the gravity of the situation. "Taylor, honey, we've been worried about you for weeks," Andrea said over FaceTime. "Your assistant mentioned you've been working until 2 a.m. every night. This is exactly what we didn't want to happen." I know, Taylor said, feeling the weight of admitting she'd pushed too hard. I just wanted everything to be perfect." "The tour will be perfect because you'll be healthy enough to give your best performance," Andrea replied firmly. "We're taking over all logistics immediately. Your only job is to rest and recover." Meanwhile, Travis made his own significant decision. He'd been considering several off-season training opportunities and endorsement deals, but after seeing Taylor's health scare, he realized his priorities had shifted completely. "I'm turning down the Nike campaign," he told his agent that weekend, "and the training camp in Arizona. Taylor needs me here, and honestly, I need to be here too." "What if I step back from day-to-day tour planning?" Taylor suggested during one of their evening planning sessions. "Good start." "Well, what about those studio sessions?" "I could postpone the non-urgent ones." Travis watched her struggle with releasing control, but also saw relief as they created a plan for her recovery. That night in bed, Taylor curled against Travis's side. "You know what's weird? For 2 days there, I was genuinely excited about being pregnant. I kept imagining telling our families how we'd handle the timing." Travis pulled her closer. "I was doing the same thing, picturing you with a bump, thinking about baby-proofing the house. I even started researching cribs online. Are we crazy for being disappointed when the timing would have been terrible?" "No," Travis said without hesitation. "I think it means we want the same future. Maybe not now, but someday." "Someday soon?" she asked, looking up at him. "Whenever you're ready, but first, we're getting you healthy." Taylor was quiet for a moment. "Thank you for caring more about my health than being disappointed about the pregnancy." "Taylor," he said seriously, "nothing matters more than you being okay. Babies, weddings, tours, none of it means anything if you're not healthy and happy. Over the following weeks, Taylor followed Dr. Mitchell's advice religiously. She delegated tour planning to her team, canceled unnecessary meetings, and prioritized 8 hours of sleep and regular meals. Travis took over wedding responsibilities, working with their families to handle details that had been stressing Taylor. The most surprising part of Travis taking over wedding planning was discovering how much he actually enjoyed it. He spent hours with the florist discussing centerpiece options and worked closely with the caterer to create a menu that honored both their families' traditions. His mother, Donna, was thrilled to have him more involved. "I never thought I'd see the day when Travis Kelce cared about table linens," she teased during one of their planning calls. "Taylor's really changed you." The improvement was dramatic. Within 2 weeks, the nausea disappeared completely. Taylor's energy returned, and she stopped having emotional meltdowns over commercials. More importantly, the experience clarified what they wanted their life together to look like. "I want kids with you," Taylor told Travis one evening in early December as they cooked dinner together, a new routine ensuring she ate regularly. "How soon?" Travis asked, grinning as he chopped vegetables. "Maybe we see what happens on our honeymoon," she said with a smile that made his heart race. "No pressure, no planning. If it happens, it happens. And if not right away, then we enjoy being married and try again when we're both ready. But I know I want to have your babies, Travis." "How many?" he asked, laughing. "At least 2, maybe 3. I want our kids to have siblings like you and Jason." Travis pulled her into his arms, overwhelmed with love for this woman who'd just survived a health scare and was already planning their family. By January, Taylor felt better than she had in months. Her energy was back, stress levels manageable, and she was genuinely excited about the upcoming tour instead of dreading it. Dr. Mitchell was right, she told Travis as they reviewed final tour plans that her team had perfected. "Stepping back didn't ruin anything. It made everything better." "How do you feel about the tour starting next week?" Travis asked, looking at the schedule. "Excited," Taylor said, and he could hear genuine enthusiasm. "For the first time in months, I'm looking forward to performing instead of worrying about having enough energy." They'd also made another important decision together. Travis would join Taylor for the first week of the tour, something they hadn't originally planned. "I want to be there opening night," he'd told her. "After everything we've been through, I want to see you do what you love when you're healthy and happy." "And June?" "June feels perfect," she said, snuggling closer on the couch. "Venue's set, guest list finalized, and our moms have become best friends planning the menu." Travis laughed. They've gotten intense about the food. "The best part is, I'm not stressed about any of it anymore. I'm just excited to marry you and start our real life together." "You know what I learned through all this?" Taylor said, looking up at him. "What?" "We're an incredible team when we actually communicate and take care of each other. I spent weeks feeling awful without really talking to you because I thought I could handle everything alone. And I spent weeks worrying but not pushing you to slow down because I didn't want to control your career," Travis admitted. "We can't do that anymore," Taylor said seriously. "If we're getting married and having kids, we have to be honest when things are too much." "New rule," Travis agreed. "If either of us notices the other is overwhelmed, we speak up immediately. Even if it means changing plans or disappointing people." "Especially then," Taylor said firmly. As February 8th, 2026 arrived, Taylor and Travis found themselves in a completely different place than just months earlier. The pregnancy scare had become a health wake-up call, strengthening their relationship and clarifying their priorities. Taylor was healthy, rested, and genuinely excited about her tour starting in 2 days. The shows were planned, set list perfected, and she felt physically and emotionally ready to give fans the best performances of her career. Wedding planning progressed smoothly with both families collaborating to create exactly what they wanted. June 13th couldn't come fast enough, but they felt confident they'd arrive as their healthiest, happiest selves. The pregnancy scare had taught them that when the time came to actually start their family, they wanted to do it right, with Taylor healthy and ready for the beautiful chaos parenthood would bring. Looking ahead to Taylor's tour launching, their June wedding, and whatever followed, they knew they were stronger because they'd learned to prioritize each other's well-being above everything else. That lesson would serve them well in all the adventures ahead. The false alarm had been exactly that, just a scare, but it revealed they both wanted the same future, a family built on the foundation of a partnership where they took care of each other first, everything else second. As Taylor prepared for opening night, she felt grateful for the health crisis that had forced them to slow down and remember what mattered most. Not the tours or the fame or even the wedding planning, but their commitment to building something lasting together, one honest conversation at a time. Travis watched her final rehearsal prep with pride, knowing the woman taking the stage was not only incredibly talented, but also incredibly loved, incredibly healthy, and ready for whatever their future held. The pregnancy might not have been real, but the love that made them both excited about that possibility, that was as real as it gets. And someday when the timing was right and Taylor was ready, that love would create the family they both dreamed of. But for now, they had a tour to launch, a wedding to celebrate, and a lifetime of taking care of each other to look forward to.